Here we go. Hey, it's Mike, Meg, and Mark, the 3M's behind Mikeys Fest, and we wanted to do a short video to explain just exactly what a Mikeys Fest is. We have a lot of new cleaners and people coming into the industry, people that are aware of the Ronald McDonald House, that just want to know what the heck a Mikeys Fest is, because it is kind of a goofy name. But essentially, Mikeys Fest is an event for the top echelon of the carpet and floor cleaning industry. Probably the 5%ers, we'll call them, people that are super passionate about what they do and our cleaning industry. They like to get together and talk shop, basically, and learn from one another. And I've been putting on these events for, since 2004. We have very different levels around the country. And we have a day or two of education where we bring in like-minded individuals to speak about what it is they do, what the successes they've had with different types of cleaning businesses. Sometimes we bring speakers totally out of the industry on the motivational level to come in to speak to the group. So we do a couple of days of education, and then for the past 12 or so Mikeys Fest, we've been going around the country cleaning Ronald McDonald houses. It kind of got started where, back in 2004, I was hosting these events literally at my house, in my garage, where maybe 40, 50 guys from around the country would get together and just kind of geek out, basically, just talk shop, try different tools. We had some reps from different manufacturers come in, but we would go clean some of my commercial accounts, restaurants, hotels, roller skating rinks, and the like, and did that for quite some time. And then we had an event in Nashville where a good friend of Mikeys Fest, Mr. Jim Bardwell, had the idea of cleaning a autism house. It was somehow related to him, and we just had a blast. But we did it all in like 3 hours. So Mark and I and a couple other guys thought we need a much bigger project if we're going to bring this many people. And that led to us finding the Ronald McDonald House charities, which can be as little as a one house or one building with, let's say, 12 guest rooms, upwards to where we've done four-story homes in one day. Minnesota, for example, that was 80,000 square feet. And how many bedrooms was that, or guest rooms, Marks, in the 70 range?
I lost count. I just know it was overwhelming. When I first walked it and said, I think you need to come look at this.
It was a huge job that I did actually fly out to Minnesota to check out. It's been the biggest one since, but we've done them, all over the country. The events are growing by leaps and bounds. We're almost at the point where we got to turn people away. They're getting so popular because we are selling them out. And we always reserve room for the local cleaners, where that's a big goal of ours, is to bring the awareness to the local cleaners of just what the Ronald McDonald houses do for the community. And our goal is to get the local cleaners involved to where, we don't have to bring Mikeys Fest back, where they are going to volunteer. They're going to create a list to hand over to the staff there for when they need future cleaning, that they can call on these local guys. And we've been very successful in some towns, and others not so much. And that's why we keep going back, because we just can't find that support there, unfortunately. And we do encourage cleaners to come locally. And if they can only come for the day of cleaning, they're more than welcome. We're going to give them a t-shirt and buy them lunch and give them snacks and let them work at that same slow pace with the instructors if they wish. But I guess that gets the point of, do we charge for Mikeys Fest? Yes, we do. We don't charge if you're just coming that one day for the cleaning, but if you're coming for the class day, yeah, we have to charge. There's a lot of expenses and an incredible amount of time that goes into organizing these events. And we charge a very nominal fee. It varies from event to event, but it averages, $100 or so. And I think that's a perfect segue to hand over to my financial expert, Miss Meg Burdick.
Yes, that would be me. Yeah. So my role in Mikeys Fest as it's grown and developed, and it hasn't been kind of more of this grassroots Mike's Garage kind of thing where it didn't need a lot of logistical support and other things to consider, is kind of how I kind of got involved as things were growing and kind of seeing a need in some things for some details to be taken care of. When Mike's all over the place and everybody wants his attention the day up to know what's going on, there's still other stuff that has to happen. So I kind of started jumped in and did it when we went to Minnesota, when we saw how big the house was, and started there. And I think Mike appreciated it and, asked me to help out with future events. So, one of the things to understand is this is a really long process. We're on lots of phone calls and emails with the house managers and Ronald McDonald Charities from around the country. Oftentimes they're contacting us a year in advance. And at that point, we have to try to find a date, and then we have to 2 years in advance for some of them. We have to find a date that works for the three of us. And then we have to go look at hotels and make sure there's nothing else going on in the city or the town at the same time. There's hotels. So it's a lot of back and forth with them just to pick the dates. And to secure the hotels, we have to put down huge deposits and guarantee a certain amount of rooms. For that to happen. So a lot of times we are well aware of events coming up within a year to two, but we don't announce them till maybe off one event.
Mark, you're playing over there.
Now, here's your dog. We will wait to make an announcement about the next event as we're planning another one. So sometimes they come up, they're only 3 or 4 months apart. So it's a crazy 4 or 5 months for us. Sometimes there's even smaller ones in between. Like last time we did Arizona, and 4 months later we did Nashville, but Mike also did a smaller mini one in San Diego in between, where it was one of the ones where he was saying
notice on that one.
Yeah, there wasn't, and that was just local. That wasn't one of the paid events because there wasn't the education piece to it. It was just coordinating locals who could come in and volunteer for the day. So there's a lot that goes on with coordinating all that, and deposits and hotel guarantees and coordinating food, getting head counts, finding caterers, negotiating contracts for that kind of stuff. Figuring out for our offsite group activities, we try to get together and do some sort of a mixer and meet and greet so everybody has an opportunity to network and get to know each other outside the classroom days, because our classroom day is jam-packed. Speaker after speaker after speaker, and then the pace of the cleaning day. So, for people to have an opportunity to network and get to know each other. And of course, it's coordinating with the sponsors, figuring out their sponsorship level, making sure their promotional materials are there, getting shirts designed with Ryan, all that type of stuff. And then as the event's grown, we've had to manage the registrations in a different way and have waivers. So we've incurred some cost in utilizing different software to be able to do that, being able to make name tags ahead of time, all that type of stuff. So there's a lot that goes on. Mark and Mike and I spend a lot of time at nights and weekends and emails and texts and that type of stuff. The other thing is sometimes, as Mark said, Mike, I think you need to see this, we're going out and scoping the places months in advance to get a lay of the law, to figure out what kind of resources we need and what it's going to take to be able to do that. And then with that, we're, making a manifest where we have everything planned out for the day with our all of our maps and who's going where and what things look like. And we go in a couple days early also, just to then figure out who we need where, what resources, where are the water hookups, where are the trucks going to park, who's going to be a team leader managing or leading a certain area, and then who are the people that we should, put in these places. That kind of stuff happens. That's the panic time, because that happens usually a day or two before, when we're finally getting our final counts in, knowing who's showing up and figuring out how to, break people into their various groups. So there's a lot that goes on with that as well. So that's a segue to say, and my favorite part of Mikeys Fest, which we instituted, I think we've done it 4 times so far, is we have a scholarship program. And I kind of work on heading that up, where we've gotten donations to bring, as Mike said, sometimes there's cleaners that just started in the industry, or they've only been in it a year or two, and they didn't have a mentor. They don't have a a vendor or a supplier that's nearby to help them, or a friendly cleaner in their neighborhood that's willing to teach them the ropes and mentor them. So we were able to get sponsorships for people to come, and we have a scholarship program where they apply, answer some questions, and we review the applications and select people to come. When they do that, it's all expense paid for them. We cover their Mikeys Fest admission, their airfare, if they're driving, their mileage or gas in their car, their hotel, and meals while they're there. That's kind of my role in all of it, and I guess.
Well, I had no idea you did any of that. I just tell Mark to go clean and get out of the way. But that's pretty impressive, Meg. Thank you very much. But with that, we got Mark. And Mark's was a big part in founding all of this and helping its popularity. But he's also has a unique perspectives that he represents Harvard and Sager products, and he sees what being at the event does for his company.
Well, also I come from a background of an education background, having been a high school band director for many years as well as my family, been in the cleaning industry now 54-ish years. But I come from that background of working with kids, working with groups and fundraising, and seeing what groups need. And I have a perspective on it that sometimes I see, people sometimes don't want to let others know they're donating or doing things, which is great. That's admirable too. And I understand there's sometimes you just don't talk about you've done things, good things for people. But on the other side of that flip coin too is where we see, and in communications with some of the groups, like I volunteer locally cleaning some places for free as well too. If there's sometimes with an agreement with them or with the people, we'll say, hey, you want us to do some social media on this a little bit because it brings recognition to that group in need. So in this case, the Ronald McDonald houses, I have seen every time we've done the Ronald McDonald houses, there have been more monies and donations and awareness of their needs brought about. So I know there's that fine line. Some people say, oh, I'll never announce all that freebie that I'm doing, whatever. Yeah, I get that. But the other part of it is, if you take a look at it, there is a good thing happening with us doing this and also making it aware to others the needs. So like the Autism Center at that time, I know that did good for them. We have done things for animal shelters. I know that's been of a help. I know Ronald McDonald House, just the last one in Nashville. The cards most of us got from there telling us now with the current events going on with the virus and COVID-19 that our cleaning helped them now that they didn't have to spend as much to do as thorough cleaning to get them and keep them available and open. So those are some of the things that us just in the volunteering point do. And
Mark, excuse me for a sec, but Meg and I recently had to try and figure out the numbers that we've created and two elements: the cleaning value that we've given to the Ronald McDonald House in those 12 or so fests, as well as the cash revenue, because we always do, well, not always, but before most events we do raffles or maybe auctions, where we get the various vendors donate extremely generously. And in most cases, we can come up with somewhere around $10,000 per event in cash that's donated directly to the Ronald McDonald House. And then we also get equipment, mop supplies, air cleaners, things of that nature. But Meg, what were those numbers we came up with recently?
Okay, go ahead, Meg.
So with the raffles, the ones that we've done at the past 12 events, our total cash donated to them was $62,000 just from the Mikeys Fest stuff. But since we kind of pulled some other things, our estimate between combined value of cleanings over the years that our industry has given back because of the awareness that's been out there. And this awareness started prior to us getting the events. I want to acknowledge that there were people out there who have been doing the Ronald McDonald houses long before Mikeys Fest got involved. But we came up with $1.9 million between, there's some places that that do the cleanings yearly and have been doing it for 30 years. So the estimated value of that plus cash donations, it was $1.9 million.
Well, I think the Mikeys Fest cleaning value, we came up with somewhere around 300,000 of that, plus the 60 in cash. So that's pretty darn good for 3 years. and giving back.
And there's
to,
probably others out there that we don't know about that we didn't take.
Oh
in.
yeah.
for sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
But we'd mentioned what is it worth as a sponsor, us as one of the sponsors too. And there's some pretty big sponsors and big, that try to put this on because they see the value of going towards the need for like cleaning the Ronald McDonald House in this example. And also it's a great experience for cleaners, old and new, to come in, try equipment, try chemistry, get a chance to try things or clean with people and get education through them side by side too. The value is incredible. I mean, it really is priceless. I just had a gentleman on the phone from Atlanta, Georgia area, south of Atlanta today, just prior to this interview here, asking me questions. Matter of fact, I got to send out some pictures to you, Mike, but asking me questions about cleaning and equipment. And I was like, boy, it'd be great if you could come to one of these events because you're the client that would really need it. You would really benefit from being able to see and use and try for yourself what piece of equipment you're looking for and searching for that might work for you. And that's priceless in itself. There is so many products brought to these events for us all to try. And
that's what's unique about this event over other ones that are a more traditional trade show where you're in a 10 by 10 booth on a trade show floor and not really getting that hands-on opportunity to actually see before and after results and actually really feel what it's like to use a certain tool and see the results.
And will it fit your cleaning style and your business maybe?
And I like seeing everybody's trucks and how they're set up too. That's always fun to do the truck tour. And then what was really nice about the last one we did, we had several portables, more than normal.
Yeah.
And that was great too we hit everybody, no matter where you're at, no matter what you're using, if you're doing VLM or bonnet or encapsulation, if you're doing portables, if you're doing a huge, massive truck mount, if you're doing slide-ins, if you're doing direct drives. See, I know all this stuff. It's all there for the taking and the use.
To try it with the manufacturer, the rep, maybe the guy that invented that tool, or it's an extremely unique opportunity that just can't be matched. So, with that, if you're interested in attending a future events, mikeysfest.com is the place to keep an eye on. And right now it's May of 2020. And you'll see if you log on that our next event is kind of a different one. It's happening in Las Vegas and involves a 2-day, we'll call it a private class for advanced hard surface repair and care course. With the growing popularity of tile and grout and wood and vinyl taking over in homes and inexpensive area rugs, we're going to deal with that. Virtually no carpet cleaning will be discussed over this 2-day course that's limited to 20 attendees. But then again, we'll clean the Las Vegas Ronald McDonald House for the 3rd time. And they're having all sorts of issues with their various hard surface floors and counters, and the class will focus on those areas while the local cleaners will take care of their carpet and upholstery. The following day, the experience, which is the largest trade show and convention, starts. So it's just pretty much a full week of carpet cleaning nerdom. After that, we have San Diego in January, and that's going to be probably the biggest one we've done yet. So the San Diego house is enormous. We have a fantastic resort seaside resort, I guess you could say, reserved for the whole function. The classes will be at that resort. Again, that's on a little bit of that information's on Mikeys Fest. A lot of buttons need to be snapped on that one. And then after that, in November of 2021, we're going back to Phoenix again. And who knows what's going to happen after that, but keep an eye on mikeysfest.com and the Mikeys Fest events Facebook page for information about further events. If you got any questions, I think the 3 of us are pretty easy to find online. But anything else to say there, Eminem?
Eminem.
Nope.
It's great. I enjoy immensely meeting and seeing everybody, new people. I like the spark in their eyes when they They come in and they see it. It's just an awesome experience. Every one of us get together, old and new. Us older people feed off those younger people. It does. It's just such a great gathering. Hope I can see you all there.
And the only other thing I'll say is once you go to one, you're hooked. I went, that's what happened to me. And here I am, not really even in the industry on that level anymore, but I'm so passionate about this that I'm still doing it. And everybody new that comes, we've had several people, who just started attending our more recent events in the past year or two. And after their first one, they were still going. And that's a huge thing, to take a week or more off from, and some of them are coming with their spouses to attend these events for several days, sometimes doing it twice in a year. I think that's a huge testimony to, people will do this over their family vacation.
It is their family vacation in many cases.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, guys, for checking in. And thank you, the viewers, for listening for 27 minutes on what the heck a Mikeys Fest is. And we hope you got all your questions answered. And hope to see you at one soon. Thank you.